Welcome to Lesson 13 on other problems caused by a lengthy, repeated stress response. This lesson will have two parts. In part 1, I will discuss the problem created for infections and infectious disease. With a stress response, which is the fight or flight response, the body will ensure that there is plenty of fuel for the musculature. So any systems in the body that are not deemed to be necessary will be declined for the duration of the stress response. Those systems are digestion, reproduction, and immunity with respect to infection. If immunity with respect to infection is declined or partly declined to some extent, sometimes more, sometimes less, then your body is not going to be able to fight any pathogens that might come into your body that you have contacted. So your body will not be able to control the infection or an infectious disease because the pathogens may not be destroyed sufficiently quickly and they may be able to multiply and cause harm. So what to do about it? How to overcome this problem? The solution to this problem is more simple than you may imagine. When we have a stress response, a fight or flight response, then we are perceiving an external danger, and that's why our body will move to the stress response. If we affirm at that time that the primary danger is in the body, then immunity will come back on and fight the infection. The full extent of the immunity will be again available and will fight the infection. And I have found that it can happen remarkably quickly. I've had a goanna bite, for instance, and I made that affirmation, and within 10 days it was healed. I've also made that affirmation if I'm near anybody else that has some cold or flu, or if I suspect that I might be getting a cold or flu, then again I will say the primary danger is in my body. And for the last 50 years, I have not had the flu or a cold. Influenza is not part of my life. My immune system has handled any problems very, very efficiently. I had discovered this in my early 20s when I had an infection in my leg and I had a lot of stress at the time and the infection wouldn't go away. So I went to the doctor, got antibiotics, but they didn't do much good. The infection in my leg was getting worse and worse and worse. I went to the doctor again and we tried different antibiotics, but my leg was still getting worse. Then one day when I was at the doctor's, my doctor said, I want to consult my colleague because he was getting very worried. And I crept to the door and I overheard the other doctor saying, if this doesn't work, we might have to take the leg off. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want to lose my leg. Then I went back to my seat and the doctor came back in and gave me the prescription. On my way home, I thought I'll get one of my flatmates to go and get the prescription. No one was home, so I went to bed. I was very tired. And I slept till the very next day. And when I got up and went into the kitchen where we all used to have breakfast together, one of the others jumped up and said, "Oh, you're not limping." We all looked at my leg and it had about 80% reduction from what it was just the day before. I couldn't believe it. Most of the swelling had gone down, most of the redness was gone, and there was very little pain. Then I realized that by the time I had gone to bed, I had realized that the real danger, the primary danger that I had to face was in my body. So my immune system would have come on fully, to its fullest extent, and fought off the pathogens while I was asleep. Some people, including some doctors, have claimed that full immunity would cause an autoimmune reaction. This is not true. I will discuss how the immune system can overreact in another lesson. In the next lesson, I will discuss the high blood glucose which occurs with the fight or flight response.